www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina.
Join Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world.
Prepare for what's coming and dominate in economic winter. Stand strong and thrive by showcasing your great products and services globally through the Black Business Network and Black Business Olympics. The Black Business Network has showcased over 2,000 companies with over $7 billion in sales each year. Over 10 million attendees have viewed the rebroadcast each month. Through the Black Business Olympics, unique styles of business training and mentoring are turning students into business owners and entrepreneurial warriors who will dominate in any economy. Gain the ultimate advantage of the Black Business Olympics, 7 days of unbelievable topics and speakers speaking around the globe. Donate your time and experience to provide expertise and scholarships to students worldwide and change the world. Now, more than ever, new insights, tools, strategies, and capabilities are needed. This is your chance for a major presentation to the world. Fill out the form and join the more than 2,000 speakers who have presented to over 200 countries. Join the Black Business Network streaming live into the Metaverse, STEM City, Black Multiverse Enterprises, Hulu, Amazon, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Apple, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pod TV, IBM TV, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Sign up today. Spaces are limited, and we will see you there.
I was born and raised in southeastern West Virginia, the coal fields. My father was an AME minister. For me, I was very fortunate. Even though I grew up in the segregated South, I was surrounded by flourishing Black businesses, doctors, lawyers, bankers, dentists. They were all there and they were all successful. And I guess that's part of my dream, is to see that success come back. My name is Joseph Simmons, and I am the founder of the Center for Micro-Entrepreneurial Training. We have this moment in time where we can change the trajectory of people. And our focus is on women, Black and brown entrepreneurs, and their access to capital, their ability to build thriving businesses, the ability to employ people. There's a study that showed that in those three communities, especially Black and brown communities, $1 stays in those communities for 30 minutes. In white community, $1 stays in their communities for 8 hours. So think about it. For you in a Black or brown community to get gas, to get food, to go to a restaurant, you've got to leave your community, take those dollars out of that community and take it to another community that's already being well served. So if we can reverse that, if we can go from 30 minutes to an hour to 2 hours, that's progress. That's what we need to do. I was with SCORE, and then in May of 2020, of course, the events happened in regards to the murder of George Floyd. The other thing that I was experiencing was the denials of federal funds for small businesses. And it revolved around one thing. These businesses were not being prepared for grants and for government programs. And I came up with the idea for the Center for Micro-Entrepreneurial based off those two things. Morgan Stanley had a report out in 2020, first quarter, and it talked about there were 3 groups that were massively devastated by COVID-19 on their business. That was 1, women, number 2, Black, and number 3, brown entrepreneurs. The research showed that they had less cash on hand, they had less opportunity to go into a bank and get money, and they were very dependent on family and friends to keep their business up and running. If we can focus on those 3 groups, then we can have a dramatic impact on our communities. Really, the focus is on 3 areas. And those 3 areas are 1, the people, number 2, the courses, and number 3, a support network. Here at CMAT, we will provide you with the fundamentals for generational success. And you will be creating a vibrant community by attending our 5-day immersive training course.
Why do I do what I do? You know, my life coach asked me that a few years ago, and she said, Tony, what's your why? And I told her, and she said, girl, you've already accomplished that. Perhaps you need a new why.
Hi, Tony Harris, Amy Hoydu with Say It Said Marketing, one of your students. And just wanted to say thank you, Tony Harris, for spending so much time with me. And
Attention all entrepreneurs and companies. Are you looking for reliable and efficient virtual assistants and back office support to help you manage your business tasks? Look no further than Superwoman Business Services. Our team of virtual assistants provides a full range of administrative support services, including operations management, social media marketing, and much more. We also offer website design services to help you create a professional online presence that reflects your unique brand. In addition to administrative support and website design, we offer business development and structuring services to help you grow your business and achieve your goals. We'll work closely with you to identify areas of improvement and develop a customized plan to help you reach your full potential. At Superwoman Business Services, we understand that running a business can be overwhelming and time-consuming. That's why we're here to help you fly high and achieve success. Our virtual assistants are highly skilled, experienced, and dedicated to providing you with the support you need to thrive. Come fly with us and take your business to new heights. Let us help you become the superhero entrepreneur you are meant to be. Contact Superwoman Business Services today to learn more about our back office support services. Come fly with us and take your business.
Bravery is not the absence of fear, but the ability to overcome it. We stand for those who defy suppression, who speak out, and those who walk the road less traveled. Everyone deserves to be seen and their voices to be heard. We're sparking a movement, growing a community of creators united by the desire for freedom, choice, equity, and ownership. At Fanbase, it's all for one and one for all. We support each other to guide, promote, and uplift you in a place where you can unapologetically be yourself. A place where your voice, ideas, and creativity are not just welcomed, but celebrated. We are Black founded, minority funded, and supported by a diverse, inclusive, powerful community that believes in the strength of authenticity and individual choice. Regardless of success or background, we welcome you. The marginalized, the underappreciated, the successful, the superstar. We're for all who seek a space to express themselves freely, where they are rewarded for being their authentic, true self. We transcend labels because only we have the right to define ourselves. We are built for the brave, the culture, the creators, and for the future where everyone has the power to shape their own destiny. Where all are empowered, voices are amplified, and freedom is embraced. For the first time, you have a chance to own the platform you helped make popular. It's a revolution. A movement in how we connect, create, and share. Everyone is a creator, and everyone has a fan base. Here, you can be you without limits.
Did you know women represent just 3% of Fortune 500 CEOs and less than 15% of corporate executives at top companies worldwide? Have you wondered what the secrets are to getting into the top ranks, whether in the private or public sector? Do you want to figure out how to stop being held back in your career or passed over for promotion? Then you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. I have decades of experience in the military, the federal government, and corporate America, and my mission is to help women succeed and tap into their full potential. I want to reach 1 million plus women around the world to become the leaders they are meant to be. So if you want to move into a management or executive level position, or maybe you are a female veteran transitioning out of the military into business entrepreneurship, then reach out to the Executive Women's Success Institute at 301-693-3284. Let us get you on the fast track to success.
Hi, I'm Ardrey Smith. Genius is common. My genius is executive coaching and professional corporate training. As the master executive coach and corporate training ambassador for the Genius is Common movement, I help business owners craft their stories in such a way that you know exactly what they do, what they have, and what they bring to the table. Many times as business owners, we are asked, so what do you do for a living? And we could be crushing in our businesses, but we're not quite sure exactly what to say in a short amount of time. Well, I help you take those stories that are the reason why you're in business and why you're so passionate about your business and craft them in such a way that people are drawn to you as opposed to being repelled by you. Because every conversation, every time you talk to someone about your business, you are excited about it. But are you really conveying what you do, what you have, and what you bring to the table? And do really people understand why you care so much and why they should care that you have the solution to their problem? Well, I'm here to help you with that. As a master storyteller, I can help you with your stories and spin them in such a way that they are intriguing and fascinating. People want to listen to you talk about your business. That's why at the Genius is Common movement, I am the master executive coach and professional training ambassador. That's my genius. And genius, oh yeah, it's common.
Hello, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. And my genius is helping women accelerate the path to success. You know, I was blessed to have strong women in my life who encouraged, motivated, and pushed me to do my best and to never even think about giving up on my dreams. So I say to women, we must show up to rise up. We have talents and potential, but who will see them if we don't speak up and get noticed? I know that women are a tremendous resource on this planet, and there is nothing more fulfilling than helping a woman tap into her full potential. I do this because I want to be a part of helping as many women as I can to show up, to rise up. I do this because genius is common.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
And welcome. Sorry about that. Good day, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Letitia M. I am your business moderator for this edition of the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the U.S. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about businesses. So today we have with us, and that's what I was pulling up, you guys. So sorry about that. An amazing guest that we are just excited to have with us today. And I want to give a warm welcome to Dr. Stephanie Ardrey. Now, Ardrey is the founder and CEO of ZenoVerse Wellness Group, Incorporated, a global wellness organization formed to deliver wellness 1 week at a time. Love that. Through its MediSpa Tels, which is trademarked, strategically located across the Caribbean, United Kingdom, France, and Africa. Current locations are in Jamaica and with UK and African markets opening soon. Oh, I'm going to be going to Jamaica soon, so I might have to see her about that, right? Her farm is also in the farming space, offering food as medicine, perishable, non-perishable, meal kits, tinctures, and tonics, supporting the varieties of wellness protocols. Dr. Ardrey codified her wellness delivery method as WAAS/S, Wellness as a Service Solution. That is so smart. ZenoVerse Wellness Group is a timely concept that was initially conceived when Ardrey was just 14 years old. I should say years young. She imagined a wellness center later while working in the hospitality industry for the Claremont Resort Hotel. She was one of the marketing team members that they rebranded the property after investing over $1 million to launch what was then a new concept, spa hotels. Dr. Ardrey made a social impact commitment to train and develop 1 million entrepreneurs. I'm loving it. So let's give a warm welcome. And I present to you Dr. Stephanie Ardrey. Hello, Dr. Ardrey. How are you? You are an amazing woman so far. I'm loving it. How are you today? I think you have to unmute your mic.
Wonderful. And thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Have you been a guest on the network before?
Yes, I have. And I'm always happy to return.
Excellent. I am so, I want to say that I'm honored to be with a veteran of the network. The Black Business Network has invited me to be here recently and to be able to meet amazing women of color in this business atmosphere. And after reading your bio, I know I'm in the presence of greatness. So thank you so much for taking the time to humor me.
Well, thank you for
hang out with me for a little bit.
Of course. And Black Business Network always reminds us that genius is common, right? So we just need to connect.
That's right. That's right. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, we are going to get started with our fireside chat. I wish I had my cup of tea with me, but I will then have to just mosey. I'll have to rewatch it with my tea afterwards. So to get started, what inspired you to create ZenoVerse Wellness Group, and how did your earlier vision evolve into this global wellness brand?
Oh my goodness, that's such a wonderful question. And actually, it really started when I was 9. Being an only child, my mom and I used to do a lot of things. And 9 years old was really a pivotal point because she purchased a home for us. And so we got to go through this experience of, buying a brand new home, having to furnish every, room, buying everything that you possibly need to set up your household for the first time. And I remember my elementary school had a book sale. And so the other thing that she was going to need to do was learn to cook. So she attended our book sale and she bought 2 books. I remember that she bought Back to Eden and bought a soul food cookbook. And this was going to be the beginning of literally an intention that she set that I had no idea how powerful it was to set an intention. But she set an intention at that time that not only was she going to learn to cook, she was going to teach me to cook in such a way that I would have flavorful dishes, but they would not cause chronic conditions. And this was unheard of. So I grew up with sort of this, family. They said I was so foo-foo. And non-traditional so-called soul food meals is what I learned. I don't even know all of the soul food so-called meals because I did not learn to prepare them, in the original context or way that they were prepared. But it was her intention that really, planted those early seeds.
That is awesome. That is awesome. We always have to thank those who inspired, encouraged, and molded us, right? So I love that story.
Absolutely.
Now, how did your background in hospitality and commercial real estate influence your approach to developing the wellness centers like the Meta Spas? Ooh, That's a word.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So again, my initial, it's a funny thing. I feel like I've sort of gone in a little bit of a loop. Initially, I was going to study to become a plastic surgeon. And at, again, 9, that's when I was able to start the GATE program in elementary school. And so from that time, they sort of identified the students that would be interested in going into the UC system. And so I grew up in the Bay Area, so I was on track to go to UC Berkeley. And in order to do so, you had to commit to a certain curriculum that you were going to complete over the next, many years, from elementary school to junior high and then into high school. And if you satisfied all of these requirements, then you'd be on track to be accepted into a UC. And so I did all of these things. But when I turned 15, my mother was having financial difficulties and said, listen, and she also was disillusioned with upper education because she had gone to school, she'd earned a 4-year degree, and she felt that it was actually more of a burden in terms of her career advancement than an asset. So she was really feeling really disillusioned about it. And the idea of me spending another, 5, 8 years between going to undergrad, possibly graduate, and then a residency, she was just like, I just don't think that it's all cracked up, what it's all cracked up to be. So at that point, she negotiated that I consider a shorter degree. And so I said, well, she asked me just to go to work. And I said, can I at least get a 2-year degree? That was me coming up with my, solution. And so that allowed me to go into fashion, actually. I went to the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising, and unbeknownst to me, it was like an Ivy League business school because each of the professors were required to own a business. And so that was really where I found myself in an environment with entrepreneurs. And at the same time, I had won my first contract, launched my first business at 18, where I'd won a contract with the California State Library Association to set up their then Second Start adult literacy program. So it was kind of that foundation that had already been brewing. Again, earlier at 9, I used to play business all the time. And, I was making credit cards for my business one time, and that's when I was, kind of caught. And so my mom was like, what is this about? And I said, well, I'm going to be an international business tycoon. So I really believe that, again, that intention early on, what I didn't realize, I think, is that the Almighty and the ancestors said yes. But if this is the path that you want to take, then these are the things along your journey that you're going to need to gain in terms of tools in your toolbox in order to step into that destiny. So I sort of, if I look back, I would say for the last 50 years, I've been working on my being able to step into today and be able to lead this global organization. But it's really a culmination of all of the years of work that I've done to this point.
That is excellent. That is excellent. We're going to have to teach kids the game of business. I love that you said I was playing business at 9. So absolutely, that's going to be the new board game you're going to come out with too.
I love it. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, can you explain the concept behind wellness as a service / solution, the WAAS/S, and it sets ZenoVerse apart from how it's setting ZenoVerse apart from other wellness initiatives?
Absolutely. And so again, for me, anyone that knows me says that I'm a little bit of a taskmaster. I'm a typical A personality to the 10th power to the 10th power. So when I think about things, I tend to think about them, and it would have been enough just to create wellness resorts like any other hotel operator and just be done with that. But me, no. I need to make sure that if you come to my resort, when you go home, you're still able to continue, because what it was I did was I worked into this idea that what is full life? And so based on research through the blue zones and data about people that experience longevity, what seems to be common is when you look at blue zones, you look at sort of a holistic approach to wellness. And really, when I looked at a number of things, the insurance actuaries began to update policies to 120 years, which said, okay, well, if they figured this out, then 120 years is not a fake number. It's a real number. So, with full life being 120 years and beyond, who's spreading that particular narrative and who's taking on the responsibility for what full life would appear to be like? And then also, where are those solutions to ensure that those of us that have said, okay, yes, I want to live full life of 120 years, what does that look like? So I decided to codify what that looked like by thinking about what I wanted to do at 120. So I set some new intentions, much like my mom did. I looked at my son and I said, well, wait a second. At 120, I want to be the fastest woman running the 100-meter dash. Okay, I want to be the woman jumping the longest in the long jump. Those are two things that I want to take on as intention. So I'm going to work towards that. And what I realized is as I started codifying what that would look like, then I worked in reverse and started setting those new intentions. And I even watched my body sort of reverse in its aging process to really set those sites into a possibility. And I thought, well, I could just teach people what it is I've done to transform themselves. And it's happening because now as I'm in rooms, I'm raising capital. And oftentimes when I say, oh, I'm just raising 100 million this time, people are like 100 million this time. I'm going, my smallest project is $150 million. So 100 million is nothing. I've shown that, I've exited several multi-billion-dollar opportunities. So we're talking about, I'm playing in a multi-trillion-dollar sector. Of course, $100 million. If you want, 10 billion, 20 billion, here's your bet, right? It's so obvious to me. Again, it's so obvious to me because I've done this. I've been in the work, I've been in these rooms. I've developed these strategies before. It's like, I'm just running plays that I've already run with Fortune 500 companies and other billion-dollar companies. I already know this stuff works because I've already been doing it for the last 20 years.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Yeah, so it's just kind of, built out of this idea of experience and realizing that outcomes, if you tie things to outcomes, then you can really make them manifest.
Love it. Love it. She said, listen, if I'm only doing 100 million, that means that this is not the most that I've ever sat in a room for. I love it. This is how you have to think. You have to not just look at what your potential is, but never go back, never accept less than. And if you do, it's because you're feeling charitable.
I love that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, let me ask you, I do know that what
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear is that ZenoVerse is located in Jamaica. Okay. I'm a travel professional by trade. So this is great news for my clients. So we'll talk later. And I know you have expansions for the UK and Africa. How do you approach scaling the business internationally while maintaining a consistent, maintaining yourself as a consistent wellness philosopher?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. So basically, it's about building a team. As with anything, every organization, all the business plans are executed by the people that you attract to your organization. And so that is a process of both as a CEO, the job is to set the vision, to think about, I always say where people mess up is oftentimes they think about what it is they want to accomplish as opposed to thinking about through the lens of their consumers. And so I'm very much understanding I'm creating something that there is an exact consumer market that consumes what I offer. Now, naturally, there's new people that I would hope would become consumers, but I've had to correct a few folks along the way because as much as I may desire you to become a consumer, if you're not already consuming this, then you don't represent what's already a $5.2 trillion sector that's going to be growing by $1 trillion a year. Now, naturally, I hope you join in, but I can't build a business on hoping you join in. I've got to build my business on people that already spend money for what it is that I offer, because if I can't do this profitably, I won't be around, right? So sadly, I've had to kind of, let folks know that you're not my customer. Sorry. you don't vote for this. It's not my choice. You can, because I know folks spend $25,000 on a purse, so you absolutely could pay for or $25,000 on a wig. But if that's worth more than your life, I can't help you with that, right? That's your mindset. That's your choice. You vote for your dollars every day. Hopefully that'll keep you. When I say, do you want to pick hospice or you want to pick wellness? It's your choice. Every day you make that decision.
Yes. I love the fact that she said some people choose to spend that money on a wig. Like,
hey, I'm not gonna be mad at you. Listen, your wig will be in perfect condition.
Right. I
choose to invest that in my body. LeBron spends millions of dollars a year on his body because he understands that is his most important asset. And I see people running around spending more money on stuff. If it ain't on your, it ain't an asset, right?
Exactly. And that's what the focus should be on. People should think about what it is that they want to invest in, what the things that are very important to them, because the material things, they're gonna come and go. And technology changes all the time. That new phone is not that important as you think it is. But investing in yourself, investing in someone else's dreams so that you can also reap on the returns.
That part. That part. But people don't think about that. And then I was talking to a friend and she got mad for a statement that another person made. I said, a few people have kind of said things like, oh well, let me know when you have testimonials. I'm like, okay. Or let me know when you get to $1 billion. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, bet. But guess what? Don't call me then, right? Don't call me then. Because you're right, I will be there, but don't call me then.
If this product works for you, if this service speaks to you, why are you not investing now? Why are you waiting for it to be the new best thing? And now you want to be on board. Oh,
right. It's okay. It's like, it's okay. And this is what this network is really all about. And as we heard the earlier gentleman speak to about the need for supporting, micro businesses. I've been training entrepreneurs for over 40 years, I can honestly say, because like I said, I had my first business at 18. And soon thereafter, I was doing a training, my first training at the Hyatt in Oakland called Marketing Through a Recession that I created. And I had this illustrious panel of experts and myself. And at that time, I was also serving as a promotions director for a local radio station. And then I had all of my clients that were able to participate in different business opportunities. It was at that time, soon after that, clients like Hyatt and other clients were clients along that journey. And so I remember being thoughtful and recognizing that business cycles are cyclical, and that there is a way to position yourself irrespective of the cycles so that you have an opportunity to sustain your organization. But the key thing is that you must have planning and foresight. You must plan in advance. And so it's kind of, when I think about people that I see today, it's like, guess what? If you're already experiencing a chronic condition, you didn't get that overnight. It was the decisions you made over the last 10, 20 years that led you to this particular point. So if you want a different outcome, then you need to start making new decisions.
Yes, I'm loving it. So let us keep the discussion going. When you were thinking about the Metaspa Tellus, what challenges have you faced in different cultural and regions and markets, and how have you adapted to those?
So it was great. So again, as a realist, when I transitioned, I used to own an advertising agency, and I transitioned out of the advertising space into real estate development because I noticed that I was given an opportunity. I was one of the young entrepreneurs, spoke for the National Conference of Black Mayors, and then I remember the newspaper writing me up for being the young entrepreneur that told the mayors off, and I didn't tell them off. What they asked me to do was to give feedback on how I felt that they had engaged with the entrepreneurs and discussed business, and and I said, well, I told my truth. And so I learned very early that Don't ask me if you don't want me to tell you, because I'm not going to parrot to you what you may want to hear. If you
That's my
ask
husband's
me,
new saying this month.
I am going to tell you. Then don't ask me, right? If you don't want to know my truth. So anyway, from that led me to being able to contribute to their publications and advise some of the mayors on economic development opportunities. What I quickly noticed was that real estate developers would kind of follow and make money, and I didn't know how they were getting paid, but I know they were getting paid based on my intellectual property, because it was my strategies that were being put forth first. So I wanted to make money off my own strategies. Why should I just let somebody else capitalize on my intellectual property? So fast forward, that's what kind of led me into development. But every developer has a specialty, and that's what I learned coming into the space. And I remember being asked, well, what is your specialty going to be? And I said, well, I'm going to be a mixed use developer. And I remember being told, but nobody's doing mixed use. Mixed use is not in. Now you look around the world and you see mixed uses everywhere. Well, that's been my problem. I've always been ahead of the curve. I was like that in advertising. I was introducing multiculturalism before that was a thing. Now you look around and you see it's a thing. That has been sort of my trend. I'm always ahead of the curve. No difference with this whole concept behind Medi Spa Tails. I looked at the sectors that I had mastered, and in 2008 to 2010, when the financial markets collapsed around housing, I realized that I needed to diversify again, and I needed to do something in the health space as a developer, and I didn't want to do hospitals. So I created my own asset class of Medi Spa Tails, and that would be real estate that was programmed differently to deliver a particular experience, but would also serve this intention of helping other people experience full life of 120 years and beyond. So codifying what that meant, how that felt, how that would function, and how that would operate.
I love it. I was actually a part of a discussion a couple of weeks ago with another network that I'm also associated with. And one of the women, she was talking about the health survey and how we don't have enough people of color who actually take care of their health, that get their regular checkups and things like that. And this sounds like she said, because people don't look at health as sexy. So because we don't look at health as sexy, we don't take the time that's needed to take care of ourselves. But it sounds like what you're creating is a way for us to look at it in such a different way, that we are going to desire that 109, that 110, that 120-year-old life, because we're going to start desiring our health to be more beneficial for us. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So,
oh, it's so true. And guess what? The part of this journey that I think is just such a beautiful thing is there was a sadness. I lost my mom prematurely. She passed on at 48 due to stress. So part of one of our big focuses, which is why we are mind, body, and soul, because I understand the stressors and the burnout. And so that's really when you say, all right, you could be a little bit of everything to everyone. And it's like, no. We're going to start very, strategically about what I think is the most powerful place. And that is with mental well-being. If your mental well-being is good, it's going to take care of every other part of your body. Disease begins in the mind. So we first zero in and attack burnout, the high stressors of life. And then with incorporating not only, as I said, our tools, our tinctures, and our touch, we help you to transform. And so it's this idea that, yes, everything that you value, you maintain it. At minimum, invest a week a year in your body and soul maintenance. I promise you, you can't have better fun, better immersive experiences, and more importantly, better outcomes.
Wow.
So my son Sterling is the lead of the Energize X Body Studio, which are incorporated in all of our locations. And when I say fine, honey, fine. So you're right. He's bringing the sexy all in. And
I'm telling you, when we see it that way, it changes. And like you said, and if it has a visual appeal, that's even better, right? You better stop it.
Absolutely.
You're going to get us cut off.
Well,
No,
he's
but
doing
I
it.
love
Look,
it. And that's
he's doing.
exactly what I want to hear is that
He's
your spa is not just looking at people as another person coming in to come through, that we are looking medically, we are looking health wise. We want you because what is one of the famous sayings? Do you want to get somebody to be well, make them laugh. Laughter is the key to health because that deals with your mental, right? It gets you out of that state of depression. Super, super great. That was such a great answer. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
my
you so much.
pleasure. It
Now
just
we're
seemed
going
like
to go back to your 14-year-old self with this one. Your vision for ZenoVerse started when you were just 14. What was your initial inspiration and how have you just enjoyed seeing it evolve over these years?
it's really amazing. So what happened was my dad and I, he used to ride a motorcycle. And so he had me on the back of the motorcycle and we had stopped at this store that had used to be, I think they sold a lot of, I think it was more aquarium, and they sold all type of exotic fish and all this stuff. And so they had gone out of business, but it had a pretty decent footprint. And for whatever reason, we are stopped peeking through the window. And so he's asking me, well, what would you do with this space? And I don't know why I said I would create this. I started describing this thing called a spa. I don't even know some of the stuff that I used to do. I don't always know why I did it. It was kind of like even when I was telling my mom about I was going to be this international business tycoon. And for whatever reason, I knew that the then wealthiest man in the world was a Middle Eastern deal maker because she asked me what, and I said I was going to do deals. and so, and it's like I was just curious. I read a lot of stuff and no one said I couldn't. And so that's just, what I leaned into is that I was going to be this businesswoman. I was going to structure all these deals. We had legal code books that I grew up with at my grandmother's house. So I used to read about corporations before I was 9, just because it was curious. So of course, that's why I had to, after completing my doctorate and then recently graduated from law school, it was that I had to graduate from law school because I had been reading this stuff since I was a little kid. So everyone knew that it was like, something weird about me. So I had to do this.
But when you have that, it's vision, right?
Yes.
It's vision. It's brought to you. I have splurted out things that I didn't even know were fact, but I just had a feeling that this is how this goes. And then we would later looking up and it's just like, how did you know that this was the process? You knew what your process was. I need to do this to get to this. And it's going to be called a spa. It's going to be this. This is going to get me multi-millions. And I'm going to be, like it's out of the mouths of babes.
It really is. And I think that's a lot of times what we forget. And that's also a lot of the thrust of my ideas. Like to me, when people come to our resorts, what I want them to reconnect with is their 9-year-old selves.
Oh, nice.
And so because to me, if I can free you back to where you were about 9, I'm pretty convinced that right about then you were listening to source and you were clear between what the Almighty and the ancestors had for you. It was how were you socialized after that point? Either you leaned into it or you were told that it was unreasonable, you couldn't, and whatever. I'm here to tell you, you can. I want to unleash that. And I think for a lot of people, it's going to allow them to lean into the rest of their journey from this perspective of the glass being half full as opposed to half empty. And it's all about perspective because guess what? It's the same glass with the same amount of liquid. It's all about how you perceive it.
Love it. Love it. And speaking of glasses and being full and empty, let's talk about some food. How does ZenoVerse Wellness Group integrate food as medicine into its wellness protocols?
Oh my goodness. So one of the things that I did, and in fact, our first location, so what I did, again, I'm a ground up real estate developer normally, but because I knew that there would be typical hurdles to overcome in raising my first funds for this new startup, no matter how proven and credentialed and experienced or whatever, what they see first when I step into these rooms are me and immediately what they haven't seen. So they presume that I can't do what I'm doing. I had a gentleman admit the other day that this is such a simple, well-developed deal. You've mitigated the risk. And I'm like, exactly. So we're acquiring existing boutique hotels that then I'm converting to our model. My first location has already been recognized by TripAdvisor as the number 3 best food destination in the world. So imagine starting from a platform that you already have been recognized for your food, and then you're adding this wellness element and spa that's going to change the experience at a location that's already being recognized by TripAdvisor. So we're locating our opening is on an organic farm. And that's really how a lot of our locations are determined, is I look for the proximity to either an organic farm that we own or an organic farm that we're able to source our foods and vegetables from. Because again, I know that if I give you nutritionally dense foods, fruits, vegetables, tonics, tinctures, your body is going to respond. So remember, I told you those outcomes that I'm invested in with you, I know for sure I can deliver on them because I've watched what I've done with myself. I literally transformed myself back to my 27-year young body by looking both at pictures of me, but doing the work.
Nice. Well, I do want to give you just this moment because this is an amazing chat and I know you're coming back for the next segment. But for those who are tuned in right now, let them know, Dr. Ardrey, how they can get in contact with you, how we can get to those spas. But remember, you're going to be here the next segment as well. So we want to continue the conversation.
Absolutely. So you can check out, we are doing a promotion. So go to 420wellnessjamaica.com. Now we have more than one brand. So for those of you who are like, oh my goodness, 420, it's not just 420. We have multiple brands in our portfolio. Think of us as the Marriott for wellness. And so there's more than one. So if you're not into learning about cannabis or psilocybins, you don't have to. Stay at one of our other properties.
Absolutely.
We have variety for you.
Absolutely. I love it. So, like I said, we are going to keep this conversation going. So we want to just are we taking a quick break? Because I know that genius is coming. And I will see you on the other side.
Thank you.
Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school, all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am black business. Do you support black businesses? Listen, I support black business because I am black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am black business.
I am black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am black business. I am black business. Are you black business? I am black business. Do you support black businesses? I support black business because I am black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina.
Join Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am black business. I am black business. Tell me, are you black business? I am black business. Do you support black businesses? Listen, I support black business because I am black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of black business in the world.
La connexion. La connexion.
In a world obsessed with the cult of celebrity, I challenge you not to aspire to anyone else's greatness, but instead strive to reveal and ignite the greatness within you.
Are you serious?
I totally think that's it.
Hey.
No!
Hey! To me, sexy is a man that knows who he is and what he wants.
Okay.
He's comfortable. You look at him, you see him, he's just comfortable being himself. And you're like,
Baby, be you.
Be you, baby.
Just be you. I like it. Introducing the Be You collection, exclusively available at K&G Fashion Superstore.
Absolutely. So our coaching program help people that have the lack of time, that lack strategies, and lack the confidence to go after their dream life. So we help them implement tools. We help them implement. I love the lead in here. lack of finances or the education behind finances. But it wasn't until I lost my firstborn, my only son, that life changed for me. And where I was going after it all, living the corporate life, hitting my 6-figure income and living in my dream house with my dream man, driving my dream car. Wow. I nearly lost it all when I lost my son. And so I realized it only takes one financial catastrophe that can change your entire life. That's what made me start All New Beginnings. Because no matter what's going on in life, there's a new beginning. And because of that, we develop a program called Wise Minded. My little slogan is, don't just dream it, let's live it. If they want to connect with you or work with you, what is the best ways for them to be able to do that? Well, for my social media guru, you can connect with me on every single social media platform as Tanya T. Wellness.
Sometimes you got to hear the news from the Black perspective, and more specifically, Black publishers. And that's exactly why you have to download the HeyTie app, the largest mobile app delivering breaking news, videos, and podcasts from 200 of your favorite Black publishers. Yes, 200 Black publishers delivering news as it happens, literally all in one app. Go to HAYTI.com or download the app in the Google Play Store or Apple App Store. It's completely free, along with information that you can trust, so go check them out.
Follow the Brand TV broadcast host, Grant McGaugh, as he visits with top executives and entrepreneurs to find out their secrets of success with their personal brand. Follow the Brand TV broadcast host as he focuses on brand development to build better relationships, bring value to your business, relationships, and career. You will enjoy listening to each episode that is tailored to speak to you directly. If you're looking for this type of clarity in terms of building your brand, you have tuned into the right station. Each episode will help you to shape a conversation in the 5-star BDM network of 20,000 professionals and become a springboard for your corporate engagement and business opportunities. Each guest will frame their story in the areas of personal branding, business development, career development, financial empowerment, and technology innovation. Grant McGaugh explains why he is the CEO and owner of his own professional career. Grant is an accomplished business leader and entrepreneur who wants to give back to individuals to grow their personal brand strategy. Tune in as he weaves his story about new possibilities, while to you exceed expectations. If you love storytelling, this show will make for fun. Attention all entrepreneurs and companies. Are you looking for reliable and efficient virtual assistants and back office support to help you manage your business tasks? Look no further than Superwoman Business Services. Our team of virtual assistants provides a full range of administrative support services, including operations management, social media marketing, and much more. We also offer website design services to help you create a professional online presence that reflects your unique brand. In addition to administrative support and website design, we offer business development and structuring services to help you grow your business and achieve your goals. We'll work closely with you to identify areas of improvement and develop a customized plan to help you reach your full potential. At Superwoman Business Services, we understand that running a business can be overwhelming and time-consuming. That's why we're here to help you fly high and achieve success. Our virtual assistants are highly skilled, experienced, and dedicated to providing you with the support you need to thrive. Come fly with us and take your business to new heights. Let us help you become the superhero entrepreneur you are meant to be. Contact Superwoman Business Services today to learn more about our back office support services. Come fly with us and take your business to new heights.
Absolutely. So our coaching program help people that have the lack of time, that lack strategies, and lack the confidence to go after their dream life. So we help them implement tools. We help them implement, I love to leave the inherited lack of finances or the education behind finances. But it wasn't until I lost my firstborn, my only son, that life changed for me. And where I was going after it all, living the corporate life, hit my 6-figure income, and living in my dream house with my dream man, driving my dream car. Wow. I nearly lost it all when I lost my son. And so I realized it only takes one financial catastrophe that can change your entire life. That's what made me start All New Beginnings. Because no matter what's going on in life, there's a new beginning. And because of that, we develop a program called Wise Minded. My little slogan is, don't just dream it, let's live it. If they want to connect with you or work with you, what is the best ways for them to be able to do that? Well, for my social media guru, you can...
I'm Ramon Ray, founder of Smart Hustle Magazine and smallbiztechnology.com.
To celebrate small business success. Stand up on your feet. You rocked the house. Hey, thank you. It was amazing. Didn't we learn? For me, success comes from failure. One thing not to do is shake somebody's hand like this.
Colette V. Smith. The V is for victory. My mama would tell you the V is for Veronica, but it's Colette V. Smith. The NFL's first African-American woman to coach in the history of the National Football League by way of being the first female in 2017 to coach in New York Jets franchise history. Today, I'm the founder of Believe in You Incorporated. Believe in You Incorporated. I got here because I didn't limit myself. I started thinking freely, living life freely. Don't limit yourself. Unleash your power, the power that God created you to be and to have. I got here because I didn't just follow a path. I created my own. You can do the same thing. You know why I know this? Because genius is common.
You are in the right place at the right time. The Black Business Network opens again for its Black Business Olympics, a 24/7 broadcast on business, strategies, global branding, social media marketing, finance, advertisement, and much, much more. Featuring the top, most powerful entrepreneurs and speakers and thought leaders from all around the world as they gather together for this phenomenal event. Join the Black Business Network streaming live into the metaverse, STEM City, USA, Black Multiverse, Pod TV, Roku, Hulu, iHeartRadio, Apple TV, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Google Podcasts, Facebook, LinkedIn, IBM TV, Spotify, and Twitch. Tune in today and be a part of this amazing movement. The Black Business Olympics welcomes you.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support, where health education is abundant, where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City, USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children with caring mentors and hands-on activities with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
The Black Business Expo is changing my life. This year, they are giving away laptops and even $5,000 in cash to students just like me. I'm Alexis, and I want to go to college to fulfill my dream of becoming an entrepreneur. Help the Black Business Expo going to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com and also becoming a vendor, a sponsor, or donating.
The Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K through 12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students. Please, you may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund or use the Cash App at $BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts. Please donate to the Black Business Expo USA Scholarship Fund.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
Well, good day, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Letitia M., and I am your business moderator for this edition of Black Business Network. Now, the Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about businesses. Amazing stuff, right? We are back with Dr. Ardrey. She was with me last segment, so if you had a chance to see it, it was amazing stuff. But let me tell you a little bit about Dr. Ardrey before I bring her on. Dr. Ardrey is the founder and CEO of ZenoVerse, a wellness group incorporated, a global wellness organization formed to deliver wellness 1 week at a time. Through its meta spa tels, like hotels, but meta spa tels, strategically located across the Caribbean, United Kingdom, France, and Africa. Currently locations in Jamaica, with UK and African markets opening soon. Her firm is also in the farming space, offering food as medicine with perishables, non-perishables, meal kits, tinctures, and tonics, supporting the varieties of wellness protocols. Dr. Ardrey is codified her wellness delivery model as WAAS/S, which is Wellness as a Service/Solution. ZenoVerse Wellness Group is a timely concept that was initially conceived by Dr. Ardrey when she was 14 years old. Now, she imagined a wellness center at that time. Can you imagine what you were doing at that age? Later, while working in the hospitality industry for the Claremont Resort Hotel, she was on the marketing team when they rebranded the property after investing over $1 million to launch what was then the new concept, spa hotels. Now, Ardrey has made a special impact commitment to train and develop $1 million entrepreneurs. And speaking of which, we have the honor to hear Dr. Ardrey speak today on Capital Funding 101, Strategies for Funding Success Entertainment/Film Industries. So let us welcome to the program a friend of the Black Business Network and a friend to you, Dr. Stephanie Ardrey. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you again. Nice to see you. How fancy meeting you here again.
I know. It's almost deja vu-ish. Well, we are super excited to hear about capital funding. And I know that you have an amazing talk for us. So at this time, I want to turn over the stage to you so that I can also enjoy this amazing topic as an audience member myself. Thank you so much, Dr. Stephanie Ardrey.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for having me again. Well, everyone, welcome. And what I'm going to do is I decided in order to kind of lay a foundation, I wanted to talk about capital because capital is such an important requirement in many organizations. And so I was thinking about how could I quickly give you a little bit of a recap. But let me tell you what I discovered is I was looking at not only what's happening in the market, we in the US are involved in a political cycle for new president. So that means that politically, not only are there things happening domestically, but also the impact of the US elections, how that transpires across the world, the globe. You know, we are in a global economy. And so you find that when one thing happens in one market, it actually impacts several markets. It was those set of circumstances back in 2010 when we found ourselves having a financial market collapse where the housing market had come under extreme pressure due to market speculation and had basically caused, legendary organizations to buckle under the pressure. Again, we saw this happen when the COVID-19 pandemic shut down the world. And a lot of companies have failed as a result of that. And then other companies have struggled to gain market traction again. Well, the reason that I had a keen interest in not only how do we finance film, TV related projects, entertainment projects, I had a vested interest. I ended up becoming a momager. Originally for my then 4-year-old son, who became a SAG-AFTRA actor at 5 and launched his career in film, TV, and voiceover, and then went away to college, dropped out, and decided that he wanted to pursue his music career. And it was around that time that I was working on my doctoral dissertation. And so I knew I was going to address venture capital, but it was important to identify a segment that I felt was worthy of study. And for me, I thought, well, what better opportunity than to solve a problem that had not yet been solved? And that being, how does one go about financing a film or TV related project? Most often, creators begin with looking for capital. Really, you should begin with defining who your customers are. And this is consistent actually in any business. The reason that we struggle when trying to get to the capital is because oftentimes we're looking at the capital out of the appropriate sequence. Yes, out of appropriate sequence. Because guess what? There's always capital available for a viable organization. Yeah, it's true. If you have a viable business model, you will not have an issue. You may have an issue with identifying who you should be communicating with. And that all has to do with the relationships and the preparation. And in the event that you may have changed sectors or been disconnected from your relationships, sort of where I found myself when I started raising capital for my next startup. I had been in both a doctoral program, completed a dissertation, and then went straight into law school. So there was a significant gap between when I was last running a venture fund. So I had to kind of reacquaint myself with money sources, but more importantly, those sources were not the right sources for the venture that I decided that I was creating. So that meant that I had to start all over pretty much from scratch and see if these methodologies would work. So let me tell you how you begin. When you think about the content that you're looking to create, who are the consumers for that content? And how would you properly segment them? What are the primary, the secondary, and the tertiary audiences that you hope to reach with that content? Where do you plan to have that content available? Where will it be distributed? Is it a film? Is it a TV? Is it music? Is it a social media project? How is that project going to be consumed? Within those platforms for consumption, what is the audience that you expect to reach? For how long do you plan to capture their attention? Begin thinking about who are these particular audiences, this ideal consumer profile, or people refer to this, who is my avatar that I'm speaking to? How many of them are there out there? Are these going to be folks that are going to consume, if it is you're doing a film project, for example? Are these your folks who are going to be the early adopters? They're the first ones at the studio opening weekend wanting to vote with their dollars? Are these the folks that show up kind of after it is that the project has already been established as a successful project? Then they're going to show up after it's been proven. Who's the last folks? The last folks, they may not consume your content at the theater, but they're going to wait for a later release through another form of distribution. Those folks as well. Who are they? Quantifying them. And then as you think about them, what are their so-called lifestyles? What are some of the things that they consume? Because that then begins to inform some of the market opportunities for how you begin to monetize this particular audience. But before you get to monetizing the audience, as you've identified them and you've identified their true interest in the content that you're preparing to produce, the next thing is thinking about, now, what type of capacity is required? What are the resources that I need? Are there technological resources? Are there material resources? Are there people, human resources? Are there equipment and capital resources? What are the locations that are necessary to not only produce, but also to consume this particular content, right? Thinking about all of those variables. How long is required to produce the content? Are you going to be able to do this in a 10-day, a 20-day? Is this a 30-day type project? Is this a project that's going to continue to build over a period of time? How are you putting together the elements of the project? And then from there, now you have the ability to determine what type of capital is necessary to execute on that particular project. And so when you develop the capital requirements, then you put together what I call is a summary based upon how you would allocate each of those funds, the uses of funds. This is where I find a lot of opportunities. A couple things. One, if it is you understand the uses of those funds, say, for example, a big part of your budget requires things like equipment, access to production and facilities and things of that nature. Those are great elements of your budget that can easily be sort of carved out and financed. So as an organization, what I suggest you consider is a layered capital strategy. And what that means is you identify some of the things that you need for your organization and ways that you can get it beside using immediate cash on hand. And so this is where you begin to look at, where are my opportunities to establish debt relationships with other vendors, other suppliers, other sources that can help me with parts of this overall puzzle that I'm looking to put together. The overall puzzle, the completed puzzle, is the production that you're looking to bring to market. But you have to bring it to market based on understanding the facts of how a market is established, and also, more importantly, how you communicate what it is the market is about. So oftentimes when I'm speaking to creatives, they jump into the product itself and start describing to me the product, the merits of the product. Well, I'm not consuming the product at that point from the standpoint of consumption. Tell me about the business behind the product that it is that you're looking to offer. Is there an audience? And who is this audience? And what is their why for consuming this particular content that you're preparing? How often will they consume this? Why will they consume this? Is this sort of a one-off? Is this a quick make you feel good for a particular reason? And there's nothing wrong with the why. It's just making sure that you understand the who and also their why for the consumption of your project, because then that's going to inform how many opportunities you have to not only capture their potential interest, but more importantly, your opportunities to monetize their interest. So now let's step back and think about it. Based on the platform, Is your content going to be made available in a platform that's typically free? If it's free, if you will, for consumption, then that means that it's probably those platforms are relying most likely on some type of other advertisers or advertising commitments in order to finance their ability to exist. Remember, all businesses must have a way to exist and sustain themselves, or they won't exist, because organizations are run these days mostly by people. Now, in the future, I may have to change that. Organizations will be run, a lot of them, with the use of robotic technology and AI. And so a lot of the roles that have been being fulfilled by people will be replaced. And so again, people, it's important to think about what that means in terms of where your current skills are and where your skills might be greatly needed in the future. But I digress. But think about this from the standpoint as an entrepreneur. How do you begin to augment other technologies into your process to help you along your value chain, being able to manage budgets as well as manage opportunities? Before technology allowed such opportunities today, you had to go, for example, to many locations if you were scouting to create certain experiences or to tell a particular story. These days, you can scout digitally, and the digital presentation has become so advanced that you can literally, between different backdrops and screens, you can take your audience around the world digitally. And so you're able to produce content that you're able to not only to develop and deliver, but at a more price efficient level. So this should open the floodgates for those who've been sort of on the sidelines saying, well, I needed a budget of X before. Now you may find that a smaller budget will allow you to accomplish an outcome. And if not the full outcome, at least allow you enough runway to get to your MVP status. And so what do we do? How do we do that? We go back to the beginning question. Who are those customers? What is our ICP? What is our ideal customer profile in terms of who is going to consume the content? Are we speaking to boomers? What's interesting to the boomer generational cohort? What are the things that they're leaning into? What are the concerns about lifestyle, or what are the desires that they still have? What about Gen Xers? What makes them unique and different than boomers? What about millennials? What gives them a unique perspective? What are the things that they tend to lean into? What about Gen Zs? What are they thinking about and talking about? And also recognizing their age along their life cycle journey. And the rest, right? We have kids and we have elders, spanning life cycles from as early or as they say in the silent generation. We have those who are, super centurions, down to, the newborn baby entering this world and going to be participating in this space. So what is it that you're creating? And who are the folks that are going to be consuming what it is you're creating? And then how do we distinguish the difference between, if you'd say, those primary, secondary, and tertiary market segments, kind of what makes up their interest, but also what are the additional things that they're consuming, because that will inform us about advertisers, potential sponsors, potential product endorsement, product placement opportunities, right? These are, again, ways to begin to put together a budget around a particular project. Again, another reason that developing a film project can be daunting or challenging when trying to finance said project is because too often that's the focus, is a singular project, as opposed to putting together a business structure that says that we're building a sustainable organization. So our organization is bigger than just one project. And that's really what capital is typically looking for. If you're looking to capitalize an early stage venture, the capital is very interested in a couple of different relationships. If you're talking about debt capital, that is capital that you're going to attract to your organization, and it's debt. It's going to show up in the form of either a term that could be fixed, or a short term or a longer term financial commitment where you're given either a line of credit or an actual loan to acquire certain assets, or to provide working capital for your organization to exist. And usually there is an interest rate that has been established, either a fixed or an adjustable rate over a period of time. And that is usually the relationship that you're going to have with debt in your organization. If it is you're attracting equity, equity requires a few more steps. You're going to want to engage with a securities attorney, because the second that you start talking about equity, now you're selling shares. And in the US, the sale of shares is governed by the Securities Exchange Commission. So there are certain guidelines that you must first be aware of and appropriately follow before you begin to discuss a potential offering of equity, as well as when you begin to offer equity. There are certain protocols and regulatory requirements that you must be aware of and you must follow in order to appropriately raise equity commitments for your organization. So please don't do that without knowing the rules. Ignorance is not bliss in the case of making those kinds of mistakes. You can find yourself running afoul of the SEC, a federal organization, and there are federal consequences to running afoul. So please don't go down that path. Most often, a best place to start in the beginning is really understanding the debt relation and microfinance opportunities. And even in some cases, potentially there are grant opportunities available. If you're located in California, for example, some of you even Southern California, Las Vegas, there are a number of grant opportunities that are still available. We haven't run out of money. But guess what, guys? We're in Q4 of 2024, and we have about 6 solid weeks left before we run into the holiday season, as well as before the election cycle in the US is completed. So we're talking about up to about November 15th. If you haven't finished closing out on particular commitments with corporations and organizations, getting your capital solidified, then I'm sad to say that you may have to pick this up again February of 2025. And guess what, guys? Based on cyclical factors, what I've noticed is typically following an election cycle, in particular, an election cycle in the US, you're going to find some headwinds as you go into fiscal period 25, Q1 and Q2 of 2025. You're going to find oftentimes some difficulties around not only a little bit of turbulence, it's people getting back to work. A lot of times people are still on extended vacation. People are away, are coming out of, family experiences, and just a little bit slow to get back to work and function and activities. So typically what I've seen is if you have deals that are pending around November 15th, we don't see those deals get back into action by probably the beginning to the middle of February. So you could lose, about 60 to 90 days in your cycle. And so you want to prepare for that. So you want to get access to whatever capital resources you have, you can identify and capture early, as well as you want to make sure that you've planned out your business opportunities. And so if you're operating a studio or a production company, or you're a content creator, there's funds available. I know my organization, Blue Diamond Capital, where I've worked with, again, entrepreneurs, there's been a lot of interest between lenders offering different programs, as well as grants and other things that are available. But what's common to all of these opportunities is entrepreneurs having the right plans in place. The right plans in place. Oftentimes, those plans begin with the basics of one being able to understand what are the market opportunities? What does the data say and suggest? Because again, when we're making a financial decision, it's literally based upon the data. Could you give me the facts, please? Just the numbers. Let's translate your creative intention into quantifiable numbers. And let's see if the math is working. As I say, that math is not mathing. If the math is not mathing, then that's the problem with being able to get to the capital. If the math works, trust and believe there are capital resources available. Because from the capital perspective, it's looking at a return on investments in one of two ways. Either I'm going to receive a return on the interest that the borrower is paying. That's the traditional kind of debt relationship, right? I'm going to receive the principal back that I've loaned with the agreed to interest. So that's the return on investment that I'm seeking. If it is, I am in position to be an equity stakeholder in the organization. I too am looking for some form of exit at a later date, right? I'm going to experience the improved value of investing and being a shareholder in that organization. And then when that company appreciates in value, I'll have a way to redeem my shares, some type of liquidity event that allows my shares to realize the value that's been created. So that's again a return on investment. And so whoever is putting resources into your organization, that's what they're asking. Is this team capable of delivering on the promises that they're making to us around our capital? Our capital will get in, it'll be deployed the way that they've described, and more importantly, it'll come back to us principal and our return on investments. So principal and our improved value. And do we trust that this team is capable of executing? And how will they communicate with us along this journey? Because we all know that there are things that happen along the entrepreneurial journey. So am I dealing with a team that has a strong character and understanding that, guess what? When we're in business, business is going to dictate certain things. Sometimes we have to take that information and pivot. Maybe who we thought would be our primary customers, maybe there's not actually as many of them as we initially identified. So how do we fix that? Do we lean into our secondary sector? What does that look like? Are there ways to move folks from the tertiary bucket into that secondary bucket, those from that secondary bucket into that primary target? You know, what are the opportunities based on the market information that's being presented? And how can we pivot to ensure that we're delivering profitable outcomes to not only our organization, but to those on our team? We make sure that all of those particular things happen in alignment, as planned, on time, right? That's the relationship that you're building with any capital resources. And more importantly, are you ensuring that you're planning a big enough organization? Because that's also a problem that often happens as it relates to capital sources. If you need 20,000, 30,000, 50,000, 100,000, a lot of times that need is considered a micro need. You haven't built an organization that really is scaling at a level that would attract certain capital. If you're looking to build an organization where you're investing a few $100,000, $500,000, $1 million, and your goal is to, deliver a 5x, a 10x return, that's a great outcome. But that's not the type of outcome that would typically be of interest to a venture capital organization, for example. Venture capital organization is formed to deploy capital that has been collected through a series of limited partnerships. That capital has been received under a business thesis that the VC put forth. Therefore, that capital has a particular purpose on how it must be deployed, but more importantly, when and how it must be returned, and at what return for each of those investors to realize the gains. This is why VCs make very few investments. Less than 3% of the capital come from VCs. But once they deploy the capital, they're looking for those opportunities to hit the 100x returns. They're looking for entrepreneurs that are really aiming to take on moonshots. They're looking for teams that not just speak into the possibility of moonshot outcomes, but really are seasoned and have track records to demonstrate that they're able to perform at high levels. You know, when I talk about being a serial entrepreneur and my journey as an entrepreneur, I talk about the joy. And really, when I go into innovation and venture creation, it really begins from the standpoint of believing that there's a huge problem that I can make a difference in addressing, and that I believe I have a unique lens on how that problem can be addressed, and that I understand, if you will, either from personal or from research, and then being able to validate that research by speaking to prospective customers. So when I approached my doctoral dissertation, Venture Capital for Independent Filmmakers, I approached it from the perspective of there is a bunch of capital that's allocated to other sectors and not film. And so I wanted to understand why the capital avoided film and entertainment organizations in particular. And I had capital resources validate that. So I interviewed a number of VCs, family offices, angel investors, independent high net worth individuals who would typically be targeted for investment in creative projects. And I asked them to tell me why they wouldn't entertain those projects. And once they told me why they didn't entertain those projects, and luckily for me, I chose to do a mixed method study. So it allowed me to both look at quantitative data and qualitative data. And so between those two data sets, I was able to then discern particular outcomes, both supporting and contrasting against the hypotheses that I put forward, and ultimately coming out with what then would be opportunity. So once I established the whys that many of these organizations didn't entertain entertainment projects, I also explored, well, what ifs? What type of solutions would they possibly entertain? And it was from there that I decided that eventually I would bring to market really my iVent Labs methodology for the whole film community, right? And that is something that we're working on around the content creation, because that's such an important piece to every business. And so the reason that I care about content creators is much like when I noticed as early entrepreneurs, as we entered the technological phase, I said that early on, every company was a tech company, because you had to have your operations in some way augmented by technology if you were going to remain competitive. Well, I put forth to you today that we all are in content creation companies, whether we do it inside or outside, because the way information is deployed and discussed about organizations typically emerges through not only traditional advertising methods, but through social media platforms. These days, our consumers want to know more about us. They're not just interested in the brands that our organizations put forth, but they're interested in the leaders behind the brands, the leaders within those organizations. So no longer can I, as a CEO, hide behind just the brands. I have to introduce the consumers to who I am as a CEO. My grandmother must be rolling over because way back when I was a CEO of a $250 million JV that I created, she was like, nobody can know about you or you'll never get a husband. Nowadays, I can't operate in continued stealth mode because people have to know about you, right? Because that's how they vote for your brand, for the organization that you're creating. So sorry, grandmother, the times have changed. So now they have to know who I am. They have to know what I stand for. And it's amazing because, I do believe that it's important. And so as you're putting forth your organization, you want to set the vision for that organization to become sustainable. And it really begins with understanding what is the customer experience journey. And you're going to have multiple set of customers. If you're talking about a product that's consumed, for example, by an end user, maybe that's your B2C offering. But what is your B2B relationship? Your B2B relationship is with the other folks, the stakeholders that put resources in your organization. So it's thinking about that holistically and making sure that you create those relationships from the beginning. And getting to capital will not be a problem if it is that you approach it from that standpoint.
Well, Dr. Steph, this has been an amazing talk today, and I'm sure that we learned a lot about the capital funding, especially for the entertainment industry. I was actually taking down some notes because, I do make commercials and stuff for people, so it's definitely interesting to make sure you're targeting the right audience. But for those who did not catch the first segment, how can we get in touch with you to learn more, to maybe get your guidance or to hire you?
Absolutely. Thank you. So in that, if it is someone that's interested in kind of the speaking, then I send them to drmoney.live, and that's drmoney.live. So drmoney.live, that's where I do all my coaching and planning. But for our wellness resorts, of course, if you're interested in learning more about that, go to 420wellnessjamaica.com. And that's where you can see some of our offerings.
Love it. Love it. Well, we know that genius is coming, and I will see you on the other side.
Thank you. Thanks
You're
again
welcome.
for having me.
Hello, I am Dr. Eric Kelly III, the visionary strategist and founder of the Black Business Olympics. I invite you to showcase your Black-owned businesses on the Black Business Network global stage. The Black Business Olympics is a global Black Business Network platform that propels Black-owned businesses into the international spotlight. By showcasing your business on the Black Business Olympics platform, you can reach a worldwide audience of potential customers, partners, and investors. You can also establish yourself as a thought leader and expert in your field, attract lucrative partnerships, and more speaking engagements. In addition, the Black Business Olympics platform provides a valuable opportunity to connect and collaborate with like-minded entrepreneurs and business professionals from around the world. This can lead to new business opportunities, ideas, and relationships. Finally, by sharing your story and expertise on the Black Business Olympics platform, you can inspire and empower others. This is a powerful way to make a positive impact on the world and leave a lasting legacy. If you are a Black-owned business owner, I encourage you to seize the opportunity to showcase your business on the Black Business Olympics platform. It is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make an indelible mark on the world. Be one of the 1,000 visionary entrepreneurs who are changing students' lives, shaping industries, and leaving an unforgettable legacy for their families. Unleash your voice on our global stage and watch your business thrive. Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Yes, the entire world. Just give me a call today at 919-308-9090